Eroded Cave Epitaph. Expelled by the militant wicked, we find ourselves in exile. Withered is the grass, barren are the trees. We wait in expiation, this isolated island our purgatory. Yet despair not, brothers and sisters, our time shall come. Hester Sadler. Laboratory notice. Attending pathologist Ernesto Munez Reyes. Your keycard application has been approved by the head of the department. Please bring your level 1 keycard to dissection and follow the procedure on the next page. Overwrite card for level 2 clearance using the machine located in freezer. Overwrite card for level 3 clearance using the machine located in incubation lab. Please ask each section supervisor for permission to access the machines. Facility 1 Administration Department. Subject Analysis. Regenerador. Date April 9th. At last I have created new life. I call it Regenerador. Its metabolic capacity is incredible. Unless all the parasites residing within the organism are destroyed, its tissue can regenerate indefinitely. Date April 10th. Upon examining the body with a biosensor scope, I was able to confirm that the parasites behave like vital organs for the host, almost as though it has multiple hearts. This new creation of mine is essentially immortal. Surely even Dr. Frankenstein himself would want to shake my hand in admiration. Date April 13th. I have shared the news of my achievement with that pretentious bastard colleague of mine. His face went white. Then he started scribbling something in his notebook. I thought he'd be impressed, but instead he actually had the nerve to warn me of so-called dangers. He's a fool. I have everything under control. Date unknown. The subject went wild and escaped from its cryogenic tank. I was the real fool. Case 2002-F. Escaped test subject. During a recent power outage, a test subject awoke from its cryogenic status, broke out of its holding tank, and escaped. The subject was contained after 20 hours, leaving 7 dead and 19 wounded. We were unable to recover one of the bodies and a tool from inside of it. The cause of this unfortunate incident is the unstable power supply. The outdated generators cannot keep up with our demanding schedule. Management must prioritize the needs of the engineers over those of the researchers to prevent something like this from ever happening again. Copy of Irradiation reports. The results of Bleep Physical's examination showed that his body has become invested with a plaga, likely during one of his experiments with it. Under the supervision of the lead researcher Luis Serra, an attempt was made to purge the parasite using a form of experimental radiation therapy. 60 minutes into the procedure, Bloop showed signs of severe shock and we were forced to stop. Soon after, he was pronounced dead. The device uses external beam radiation to burn the parasite from outside the body, similar to a linear accelerator used in treating cancer. The pain is tremendous and it could prove fatal. The post-mortem autopsy has confirmed that the parasite was successfully destroyed. However, in lieu of these results, we have determined that the device requires further work and should not progress beyond the stage of trial operation. Attached is a irradiation device manual for reference. Captive researchers note. We were imprisoned without warning. One by one we were taken to the next room. I do not know what happens there. They just took Annabelle. I am probably next. I've got to think. Need to get my head straight. All who were infected with the plaga will be at the mercy of Lord Sadler. If he commands it, they will work themselves to death with a smile on their face. Adversely, the hosts become so simple-minded that they're basically useless for any complex tasks. However, we succeeded in developing the new, superior species of plaga. It has no special variability, but the host's cognitive functions are not diminished. It seems like they plan to administer this new species to the girl. It's clearly important that she maintains her intelligence after infection. All tests were successful and plans for mass production are moving forward. The project is a complete success, but I've been imprisoned, and preparations to inject me with the superior species are underway in the next room. Annabelle is not herself anymore. The smile has been wiped completely from her face. Writing is the only thing that keeps me sane now, not that anyone will ever read this. Transporting the amber. I must stress the use of extreme caution when handling the amber deposits from underneath the castle. Work with the utmost respect and obedience. It is imperative that you do not disturb the holy body's slumber. Superior Species Report. Dearest Lord Sadler, I am overjoyed to report wonderful news. Production of the superior species of Lost Plagas is officially underway. If all goes accordingly, rest assured that we will reach our ultimate goal. The Plaga is a truly magnificent organism. It has the capacity to live in any vertebrate, be it human, dog, or even cow. There is no other parasite like it on Earth. The superior species is particularly impressive, as it can assimilate with the host without causing any damage to the brain. No one can oppose the strength of your dominance, my lord. On the contrary, who would resist once they experience the utter joy that accompanies the absence of free will? I am living proof how ignorant I once was. In a few days, I will have finished administering the Plaga to all the high-ranking researchers, and they too shall know. And when your plan is complete, the whole world shall know. Annabelle Garcia Escudero, Head Researcher. Defenses Development. Per your request, redevelopment of the island is well underway. Weapons and other defensive equipment have been set up to guard against any outside intruders. By the time we are finished, the island will be a giant fortress. These defenses won't hold up long term, but they should last until we carry out our plan. And once again, we'll be much closer to our ultimate goal of world domination. None will be able to resist our power. Jack Krauser. Redacted Case File. Operation Javier. Few people have heard the name even within the highest ranks of the U.S. government. And little wonder, too, the operation was not made public. It was conducted in secret and then buried. The reason being, it was too inhumane. It all started back in 2002 when a small unit of U.S. Special Forces were sent to infiltrate an area of South America. Their mission was to eradicate the drug cartels. The whole operation took several years to prepare for, and only the most elite soldiers were selected to participate. I don't know if the mission was a failure or not, but I do know the fate of those elite soldiers once it was over. Apparently the entire unit was wiped out except for the commanding officer, Major Boop, and not by the cartels, but by the U.S. It shouldn't have been difficult to extract a single stranded unit. All it would have taken was a single helicopter, but for some reason the military didn't act. Rumors say the decision was the outcome of a power struggle among the top brass. Others say it was a directive from the former president himself. But we may never know the truth since it was all covered up. But I'm certain of one thing. The U.S. government let those people die, brave young people who dedicated their lives to protect their country. I want to expose this crime not because it's my responsibility as a reporter, but because it's my duty as a fellow American. Note 1. The document concerns Operation Javier and was written by an American journalist named Boop Boop. Note 2. This article will never be published. Boop has already been taken care of. Krauser's recording. You've done well to make it this far, rookie. I've prepared a battlefield up ahead just for us soldiers. Watered down by the blood of generations, hundreds of years, it is the perfect place to put an end to what happened 2 years ago. Ashley Graham's abduction. Phase 1. Depart from campus with target. Escort the target as usual until the start of Phase 2. There should be 3 others inside the vehicle, including Baker. Abel's units will follow behind you in a separate vehicle. Continue to drive your normal route. Phase 2. Stop the vehicle under the pretense of engine trouble. Transfer the target to Abel's vehicle. Phase 3. Abel's unit will change course, subdue and restrain the target. Place the target in a large container. Phase 4. Baker's unit will create a diversion. Henry's unit will infiltrate the investigations database and disable their network. Phase 5. Meet at point K9 and transfer the cargo onto the ship. Cliffside Epitaph. The bones of our brethren rest in all nations. The blood of our brethren provides all food. We die only to be reborn. We live on through eternity. We remain obsolete. Keenan Sadler. Biological specimen transfer. The repairs were completed without issue. Since the facility was previously used for confinement, the work required to reinforce the airtight ceiling was minimal. And as long as we don't run into any issues with the cooling system test, we plan to bring in all of the remaining specimens from Facility 1. All specimens were successfully transferred, however we experienced a slight hiccup during transport as one had become violent. Luckily, the number of casualties was less than anticipated. Please be extra careful when dealing with them. We have received reports that they are beginning to acquire a tolerance to the low temperatures. Emails. Subject: regarding our arrangement. From Luis. I've compiled the research data that you wanted. Meet me at the designated time and place. To be clear, you're going to get the hell out of here if I bring you the goods, right? Subject: regarding the arrangement. From AW. I hope you haven't forgotten about the amber. Without it, the data is worthless. It could be a shame to let your seats go to waste. So do not make me return empty-handed. You still remember the code phrase, I assume? Subject: regarding our arrangement. From Luis. Relax, I haven't forgotten, and don't worry about the amber. I'll figure something out. Think you can pick me up a pack of smokes on the way? Any brand is fine. The amber. This sample, which I've come to call the amber, was just sitting in the storeroom collecting dust. We used to have ample specimens for experimentation in the past, so it makes sense that this one was overlooked. In fact, the only reason I brought it back to my lab was because of its peculiar shape. After a basic analysis, I've changed my mind. The amber possesses a very unique quality. Although small and in a suspended state, it contains the same organ found in the dominant species, which we've only seen in Sadler himself. When fully developed, the amber may rival or perhaps even surpass Sadler's powers. Unfortunately, the amber was confiscated by Sadler before I can make any further progress in my research. He may be on to me. I need to get my hands on that sample again and escape in order to continue my research elsewhere. It's the only way to counter Sadler. Of course, I don't think I can trust this outside group either, but I've already come this far. Hopefully I can sweet talk my way out of this one too. I'll have to, for the world's sake. Sadler's Animus. Do not be fooled into thinking that Las Plagas are merely tools for creating powerful bioweapons. Their true value lies in their ability to control. No matter how hostile the subject, a single ejection can turn anyone into a faithful servant. Who needs spies when you can turn yesterday's enemy into today's allies? Controlling just one insider can bring an entire organization, an entire country, to its knees. Mass production of the superior species has made this possible. We have empowered Sadler. It is clear what he intends to do next. Can you imagine if Sadler had that much control? 6 billion loyal servants at his sole command? There would be no opposition, no war. Maybe for the first time in human history, the world would know peace. But I know how Sadler and the others have oppressed the people of this island for generations. I know how he treats them. That's no way to live, and because of that, I won't let it happen. Methods for eradicating Las Plagas. There are 2 ways to eradicate Las Plagas: antigen injection and surgery. If the parasite has not hatched yet, it can be treated by administering antigen directly into the body. Once it is hatched, however, there is not much that can be done besides slow its growth. With surgery, the plaga can be targeted and killed using a certain wavelength of radiation. But this is not without its risks. If the parasite has attached itself to the host's nervous system, the host will experience excruciating pain, and there is no effect anesthesia for this kind of procedure. Surgical removal carries considerable risks even before the parasite has fully developed. Once fully grown, however, it is too late. Removing the parasite would kill the host. But considering what will happen to them, death may be a mercy. Provenance Monolith. Deep beneath the castle grounds I have found my faith. Oh, behold the divine vestiges left upon this world. It all begins here. Adam Sadler. Iluminados' final chapter. Praise be the holy insects. We have been promised paradise on earth. Man, woman, or child, his love does not discriminate. Beast, fish, or bird, all creatures shall be equally blessed. Praise be the holy insects. We are humble servants of God. His wisdom will overcome any mountain. His omnipotence will cross any ocean. The light of heaven dwells in all things. Let our bodies be the seed bed. Praise be the holy insects. We are a flock and the shepherd guides us. Our prayers will be sung all over the world. They will be heard by all. At last we shall exceed the stars in the sky.